quick zoom micro effect for Photoshop. I'm going to be using this picture because it's an overhead view, and these type of photos typically work better because you have perspective. And since there's a lot of cars and colors, it'll work better. So I'm going to go down here, Command J, duplicate it, make sure I have it selected. I'm going to go to Filter, Blur Gallery, Tilt Shift. Now this is what causes, where it's clear, what's blurry. So I'm going to set it here. This is way too much for me. So I'm going to change it down to about 5, maybe 7. So I'm going to take this and move it. I want to make the road clear, so I'm going to leave it there. You can drag these to how on set it is. The further away you pull it, the closer, the more it cuts the blur. So I want this to be not as blurry down the road. So I'm gonna make the tree slightly blurry, so about here. And for the ground, I'm gonna make it slightly blurry, but not too blurry. So like that. All this is up to what you want. Then I'll put the distortion on and crank it all the way up. This gives it a sort of motion blur as you do it. So I'm gonna leave it up because I like how the motion blur looks on us. And if you zoom in, you can see it comes out from the center. I think it comes out from the center of your blur or the center of the image. I'm not quite sure, but you can figure it out. Now, this color, I'm not quite sure what it does, so I'm gonna leave it off. The light makes the things that are blurred brighter and stand out more. So I'm gonna give it a slight amount of it. You can do it to what you want. 15 was too little for me, so I'm gonna crank it up to, here you can see it is. So I'm gonna crank it up to 20. So you can slightly see it more. And click OK to apply this, and you can see the difference. Now with the edited layer selected, go down to this, and hue and saturation. So we're going to mess with the saturation to make colors stand out more, give it a pop. You don't want too much, but you don't want too little, so I'm going to settle around 40-ish. I want to make the greens and the reds stand out. So I'm going to mess around with it just to see what one looks better to me. Like 44. And that's it. You can add different effects on top of it if you want. You can add exposure, mess around with. You can put this into a whole bunch of effects. It just gives you kind of a tiny blur. This did not look good, so I'm gonna delete it. But you can just make it sort of whatever you want with it. This is just kind of a base standpoint.